Welcome back to the Arbitress YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful crisscross blouse that we'll see here. It's a flare blouse with a crisscross effect, and then the neckline extends to form a collar at the back. So you can see, and it also has like an high-low effect. It's overlapping on the center part. So this is what it looks like on the side. You can see that it is full and it is beautiful on the side as well, and this is what it looks like at the back. You can see the back as well. You can see that the center back is lower than what we have on the side, and this is the collar at the back. It also has like an alter neckline effect at the back. It's a very simple tutorial. I'm going to take you through how to cut and sew this. If this is something you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So I'm going to, this is a crisscross neckline, like a scissors neckline. So you cannot cut it directly on your fabric. I'm going to start by drafting a pattern, and then I'll use it to transfer to my fabric. And this is a shorter fashion. When I'm working on the fabric, I'm going to extend the length to whatever length I want to work with. So this is the front. I have my waist and bust that. So when you're drafting this, because it's going to be lapping on each other, make sure that your pattern is on fold so that you have a full front pattern to manipulate. So now after drafting like this, you're going to use your tracing wheel to trace the lines, important lines out, so that you have it on the other side like this. So this is what I have, and this is going to be my back. Okay, so now the next thing is to create the scissors neckline style that we want. So what I'm just doing is I'm working with this shoulder. So from the neck point, the tip of this shoulder, I'm going to connect to meet my armhole or my chest line like this. So I want this to be in a smooth way, as smooth as possible, so I don't want any sharp end. So this curve that I have here, I'm just going to place my curve in a way that it blends well to it. I want everything to rhyme. I don't want any part of this to be sharp at any point. So you can see how I'm placing my curve. So now I'm taking it in bits. I'm going to connect like this, and I'm going to turn my curve. So what I'm just doing is just to make sure that I have something smooth coming from there, and then I'll match it to my chest line like that. So after doing that, one of the style line is created. The second one now, from the second shoulder here, I'm going to connect it. So now this is totally up to you. You can see our crease line here indicating the center front. So if you want it to be at the center point where you join it together, what you just need to do is to connect from here all the way to that center point. But as you can see, for me, for this is overlapping. So instead of connecting to the center front, I'm going to be connecting it to the first, to this dark leg here. That's what I'm connecting on, so that they're going to be lapping on each other by at least 4 inches, and the body is not going to show. So now on the shoulder here, if you want as well, you can, if you want the shoulder to be this, if you don't want the shoulder to be this wide, you can mark maybe 1 inch before connecting like this, and here as well you can reduce it. But I want to have like a fold on the neckline area when I'm done, so that's why I'm just maintaining my shoulder measurement. So what I will just do now is to grab my curved shoulder again, and then I'm going to place it from this tip and then connect it to this dark leg that I have. So you can see it's very simple. So that is all I'm creating for the neckline. Now I'm going to cut it out so that I can easily see what I'm working with. So this is the first side, and this is the second side. So after cutting this off now, I'm going to go ahead and close that. So you can see I'm making sure that it is not sharp at any point. So here now I'm going to open the waist dart, and then I'll close the bust dart. before you cut this out now on your pattern, the neckline is like an outer neckline, okay? So it does not have like a shoulder. So what I'm going to do is so I've closed it that, and this is what I have. So like I was saying, I'm going to be joining there is no shoulder, so the back, the front here is what I'm going to extend to join to the neckline of the back. So for that, I'm going to bring the back like this and then make it into an outer neckline, okay? Instead of the regular shoulder and everything, there's no shoulder. So from the tip of the neckline here, I'm going to connect it to the armhole area like this to form a outer neck. So now this is the new style line that we are working with for the back as well. So I'm going to grab my scissors and then cut out this part that I don't need it there. So you can see what the back neckline is looking like now. So this is the neck. So for me to be able to join the front part to the back, I'm going to measure what I have on the neckline here on the back, and I have around 3.5 inches. I'm going to add half an inch for joining it together. That will make it 4. So I'll bring in the back and I'm going to add extra paper on the shoulder area. So I'm going to place this paper on it like this, and I will use my masking tape to hold it together. So after holding it together like this, I'm going to mark what I measured for the back neckline, which was 4 inches, and then I'm going to be extending this shoulder by that measurement, okay? So I'll just measure 4 inches like this. I'll mark the width that I have here, and then I'm going to connect it. So you make sure that you check and the extension is just extra 4 inches. So I'm just making sure of that. So from here, I'm going to extend this as well, and then I'm going to connect here. So I will cut this off now, and my pattern will be ready. So I'll bring my fabric and then cut the pattern on the fabric. So like I said, this is not the full length. So when I'm transferring on the fabric now, I'm going to connect to the length that I want. So this is what the front looks like now, and this is the back. So here is my fabric. Depending on the amount of fabric you have to work with, you can cut it in a straight form and then you add volume by the side. You can use slash and spread, and you can cut your fabric on bias, which is what I'm going to be doing for the back. So now you can see this is my fabric normally. So I'm just going to fold it on bias like I'm folding a triangle. I'll fold it in a triangular form and then place my pattern on it. So you can see how it is folded now. So after folding like this, you just place your pattern on it. So the fold points, there's a fold point, there's an open point. So the fold point is where you're going to place your center fold, and I'm going to go ahead now and hold it with pin. Remember, this is not the full length, so I need to make sure that I have enough length that I need. So in order for the pattern not to be shifting, I'm just holding it together. So you can see that I matched the center front together with the paper. So if you don't have enough, if you have not added allowance to yours on this part, you make sure that you have enough to add as many side same allowance as you need. So now I'm going to grab my chalk and then add my volume. So normally the one on the thumbnail is a full length, but I don't have enough fabric, so I'm just going to make mine like a top. It's going to be like a blouse. It's not going to be so long, but at the same time I want it to have like a high-low effect to it. So what that means is that the measurement I'm going to work with for the center fold is going to be longer than what I'm going to work with for the side. So now I'm going to mark it from my chest line. Okay, the chest line I work with is 8.5, so you can see I'm using it as a reference point. So I've placed my tape on it, and then I'm going to mark the longest length. So for me, I want the longest length to be around 30 inches. So here I'm going to place my tape and mark 30 inches here. I hope we can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to shift it. Okay, so I've marked the 30 inches there. So now it's now up to you, whatever it is that you want to work with. You can reduce that measurement by 10 inches, by 5 inches, just to create the halo effect. Okay, so like I was explaining, from here I marked the center fold area to be 30 inches, which is here. So I'm going to go over to the side as well, and then use my chest line measurement as a reference, and then I want the side to be around 22 inches. So from here I'll mark 22 inches, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect them together. So I'm just cutting this out tentatively. By the time I'm done and I don't like the shape that I have, I can still trim it up. So now that is what I have. I'm going to grab my scissors, and then I'll go ahead and cut this out. I'm not adding facing to this. So on the handhold area, I'm just simply going to fold it in. I'm going to fold it in on the handhold area. So for that, you can add a little bit of allowance so that you don't have shortage when you fold it in. So it's important to pin this. You can see how the fabric is shifting. So I'm cutting the armhole, and then I'm just going to leave the side as it is. So like I said, this is just a blouse length. You can see it's not so long. If you want yours to be very long, you just follow the same method, and then you make sure that you extend it to whatever length you want to work with. So now we're going to cut the front. So for the front, I just folded my fabric into two. Like I said, I don't have so much fabric. So what I'm going to do now is just to introduce more volume by the side here, so that it can have a flare effect like this. After folding the fabric into two, I placed the pattern on it, and then I held it with pin. So I'm going to be folding this in. I'm not cutting a facing for it, so I just had like half an inch allowance around it. So for the side here, I'm just bringing in my back, and then I'll place it on the side like this, okay, so that I can have the same measurement with what I have at the back. And then I'm using my chalk to chalk that point. So once I chalk it, I want the center front to also be a little bit longer. So from here I'll just connect to what I have on my center front. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So while cutting this side as well, I'm going to add allowance to it so that I can fold it in a little bit. So I've gone ahead to cut it now. So I'm going to detach the pins. So first thing I'm going to do is to hem it. Like I said, I'm not cutting a facing. I don't think the facing will look even good on it. So this is the neckline. Remember, we made an extension. here for the back neckline. So this is the back neckline here, so I'm going to join it by the half an inch with half an inch that we added to it for seam allowance. So I'm going to join it, then after that I'm going to hem everything all around. For the back as well, I'm going to hem it on the armhole area. Remember I added allowance for that as well. So I'll go ahead and do this and bring it back to show us what we have. I've hemmed the armhole. This is the back. So what I'm hemming at the back is just the armhole area. You can see I just folded this inwards. I hemmed the two armhole, and this is my neckline. Okay, remember it's an outer neckline. There's no shoulder here, that's why it's this small. So this is the back neckline. So I'm going to lay the back now, and for the front as well, I have gone to hem the front. So like I explained, I first joined it together on the back, center back. Remember we have already joined the collar of the back to the front. So this is the center back now, so I just placed them on each other, and then I joined it on the center back before hemming. So now the places that I hemmed for the front, I basically hemmed everywhere except the side seam area, which is here. Okay, so let me show you on the pattern. This area is the side seam, this is the center, this is the side. So the only place I did not hem is the side seam, the hemline, as well as the center back, where I'm going to be sewing to the center back, which is my collar. Those are the only places that I did not hem, but I have hemmed everywhere. This is the center front. You can see I turned it and hemmed up to where my back neckline is going to start, and then for the other side I also hemmed everything up to where the back neckline is going to start. So now we're going to do the crisscrossing, so please kindly pay attention to this. So I'm going to lay my back like this. I'm laying the back, so this is the back neckline. So now for the front, you can see where I've joined. This is the part that I'm going to be sewing to the back that is not joined yet. So I will simply, you can even pin it to the back where we are going to join it. You will take your pin and then pin it so that you not get confused. That place that we are joining to the back neckline, I'm pinning them like this, and then you're going to cross. So I've pinned that part together. So once you pin it, this is what you're going to have. So now I'll bring the first side of the front. When you bring it, you can see the side now is looking like it's the center front. So you can see this is the side where we did not hem. So I'm going to bring the second one as well. When you first bring it, the side is going to be at the center like this. So once you now cross it, you choose the side that you want to cross on. If you want to cross towards the right, you just drag the, what you just do is just drag the side to your side back by crossing like this. You can see that they are crossing on each other now. So you drag this side to the side of the back as well, and then the other side as well, you drag it to the side of the back, just like this. So you will notice that they have already crossed on each other. So if you want it the other way around as well, you just make sure that this is under, and then you just drag like that. I hope you get what I'm trying to explain. What I did was just to lay the back, then after laying the back, I pinned that collar area where I'm sewing to my center back. I pinned it. Once you pin it, it will make it clearer for you. So after pinning it, you're going to bring what you have left to the front like this, and what you are just doing is just crisscrossing it, just taking this like this. Okay, then after crossing it, you clearly see your side. You pin to this, and then you pin to this. So you go ahead and sew it. So I'm going to sew the neckline first. So when you are sewing this, remember this is still the right side, so you are going to sew like this, right side facing right side, so that your seam is going to be inside. and then you fold over. You do the same thing for the other side, and then you're going to hem it on the lower part. So I'll go ahead to do this now. So I have gone ahead to join it by the side. You can see I joined it on the two sides, and then I hemmed it on the lower part. So like I said, this is just a very short version because of fabric, so it may not be as full as what you have there, but you can see how beautiful it is looking. So for the front as well, you can cut it the way we cut the bias, by folding your fabric in triangular form, then you place the pattern on it and then just follow it like that. You can also use the slash and spread method for it. So you can see the overlap that we have here is not so long. I place the overlap where I have my bust span, which in my case is just 3.5 inches. So it just overlap by 3.5 inches. But if you want to have a wider overlap, if you want your overlap to be more pronounced, instead of stopping it here, you can extend it. Okay, let's use this. Okay, you can see I stopped my overlap where I have my dart, which is here. So if you want it to lap more, instead of stopping on the dart area, you can extend it to almost the side, just like that, and then you connect it to your shoulder area. I hope you understand that. Instead of stopping here, you can just extend it maybe up to here, and then you connect like that. That way it's going to lap more for you. But this is fine for me, and this is what we have now. This is the neckline area after sewing, so you just serge this part. So now what I'm going to do now is to go ahead, and so I'm just going to fold this over and pin and see if it's going to work by just doubling it like this. So if it's not going to affect it, I think this is what I'm going to do. So it's going to give the back a fuller effect. Then I'm going to take it to the mannequin so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what we have. You can see the crisscross effect that we have here, and you can see how it is lapping on each other. Like I said, mine is not so much because I just used my nipple to nipple measurement. So if you want it to be on this side, you just extend it. So you can see the effects that we have in front. You can see how full it is. If you want it fuller, you just need to increase the volume. So this is what the side looks like. You can see that it is equally beautiful on the side. You can see what the side looks like, and then I'm going to turn it now so that you can see the back as well. So now this is the back. You can see the effect that we have at the back. Remember that I made the center back longer to have this little high-low effect, and this is the outer neckline that we created for the back. So this is our collar for the back as well. You can see how lovely it is looking. So this is the other side as well. You can see that it is equally beautiful, and this is what the front looks like again. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.